Alright, today we're going to be replacing the shocks on my 99 F350. Real simple. Lower bolt down here at the bottom, upper bolt up here at the top. That's all there is to it. Take the bolt out, slide the shocks off, slide the new ones in, put the bolt back in. I don't think it's going to be all that difficult. I'm going to try to reach in there and do it without taking the tire off, just because I feel like being lazy. I'm probably going to find that pisses me off halfway through, because I'm working over top the tire and not just being able to sit in there and have all the room I want to work. It's going to limit me on my ratcheting, but maybe it'll save time on jacking the truck up, taking the tires off, doing all that. Oh, so I do have two of my helpers, of course, because that is critical to every operation. Well, there's the other one. Thought I lost one. Let me show you these shocks I'm going back with. I've got ProComp ES3000s on there right now. I'm going to go back with ProComp ES3000s. And talk about service. I ordered these Thursday afternoon at like 2 o'clock. Now I got lucky because I'm north of Houston and these were coming out of Dallas, I guess. But free shipping, no special charge for expedited shipping. They were here at the house. We ran some errands. We showed up. We got back home about 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. So like barely 24 hours. Here they were. Like I said, free shipping, no special payments. Anyway, I wanted to mention, I released a video talking about shocks, the importance of shocks. And so I just wanted to mention that again, why I'm doing the ES3000s. If you look up the ratings for an ES3000 for a shock by itself, it'll say that it is more designed for, like, you know, a light duty, like an SUV or a light duty pickup, and that for a heavy duty truck you should go with a ES9000. But I have dual shocks on the front, so just say you're going to add them up, this is basically ES6000. And I don't know what those numbers mean. I don't know, you know, the sizing difference. But I called, I got these from 4-Wheel Parts, by the way, not from ProComp, 4-Wheel Parts. I called and I talked to them about it. I told them my setup, and they said you definitely do not want to go with ES9000s because you'd be double ES9000. And they said if you think you got a stiff suspension now, you just wait. So they recommended going back with the dual ES3000s, help soften the ride just a little bit, and that's what I need. I need something to help soften the ride because this truck is stiff. Hey, stop it! You stop! You stop now! So pretty. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna start on, I guess, the driver's side over here and try to pull the first one off, and then I'll probably tell you how much it sucked or how easy it was, and then we'll get the new ones on and see how they look. Here's the first pain in the butt. Can't get a socket on the nut end due to the shape of the mud shield there, or dust shield, whatever you call it. Weather shield, fender well, I don't know. But I'm able to ratchet the bolt itself and just hold back up on the nut. Just about got that one off. I think I do have that one off now. Pretty close. Yeah, that's loose. Okay. That nut. There we go. Whoops, dropped it. Washer. Okay, get the bottom one off. See how that goes. Okay, top and bottom nuts off. I was actually able to use an impact on the bottom one. It's already, the bottom of this shock is loose. Oh no! This is what I get trying to film in here in tight quarters, trying to keep you guys along for the ride.
Trying to keep Daddy warm. So what is this?
Oh, maybe I can set it up over here somewhere. Hey, don't lose my stuff, kiddos. Please don't, just put that down. I don't need you losing nuts and bolts.
I'm not going to
See if I can't fight that off there. Oh, you know what? If I move the bolt back that way some. See, the same thing, I can't get my shock off this because it's hitting that mud flap again. There we go. That's one out. What in the hell?
What?
What is going on, YouTubers? My phone keeps launching itself out of my tripod here. Sorry, guys. It's just not meant to be today, I guess. I don't know. My tripod's messed up. Okay, that one off. Now to get the... So, there. Meant to show you that, the phone was on the ground. Junk metal. Now this front one, I've got to get the bolt all the way out. Got it, off the top. And then on the bottom, of course, it's got to slide all the way out.
Oh, look at the outside.
Oh. Ooh.
Yes.
Bottom's not being quite as friendly. Looks like there's a bushing or something on there. On the bottom, we're going to have to put our nut back on the bottom there, and then use this LFH, that's little freaking hammer. Oh boy, that sucker's tight. Hmm. Okay, let me work on this a second, try to figure it out. All right, so let me show you guys a couple things. This bolt was a pain in the arse to get out. This metal bushing is actually part of the shock. It came out with the bolt. This bolt's super hot right now, by the way, because I hit it right out with the impact. But this is like, this bushing here is seized on the bolt. I've got to figure out how to get it off. And the one on the thread end was too. So I had to just keep working it back and forth. You know, put a nut on the threads here so I could hammer it back and forth a little bit. Lots of WD-40. The other bushing's up under the truck somewhere. I've got to get that one off to salvage that bolt. But these, here's my old shocks. You can see, here's one of the other bushings out of the top side. Actually looks like it's okay. It's got a little bit of a bulge starting on it. But look at these, just the rubber grommets are all destroyed. Of course that bushing's out. Look at that bushing. Ripped and torn and bent. Yeah, those things are pretty beat up. That makes me very happy that I'm replacing them. Maybe this is the key to everything, who knows. Let me do some work on that bushing, try to get it off there, and then we'll be going back on with the new ones. Magic. I was just sitting there talking about how hard it was going to be to get it off there. All I had to do was put a pipe wrench on it enough that I could grab a hold of this, and then it was actually loose on the bolt. It popped loose. That bolt's got a little bit of flare to it there. I wonder if it's warped. It doesn't really look like it. I think it'll be okay. But yeah, just had to get a pipe wrench on it just so I could grab it because it's got WD-40 all over and I couldn't get a hold of it. It's off there now. Let's get these new ones on. Alright, so real quick, I had to put my own stickers on. Doggone it. I'm not a sticker guy. They're going to be crooked. That one's got a wrinkle in it. So be it. So there's our new shocks laid out. And they included just bag after bag after bag. That was empty. Of all these little bushings. Some of them fit, some of them don't. So I guess that's just one of those things. You know, this is a sort of one size fits all deal. I'm sure a universal package. No instructions whatsoever, which, I mean, it's pretty simple, bolt off, bolt on, but it'd be nice to know, like, I don't know, maybe like a listing that says, hey, if you have this model year truck, then you should probably use this bushing, because these bushings are all stamped with a, you know, serial number. So I just kind of went through and fit them, found these four up here, they fit on my bolt here. They're a little bit different lengths, but I don't think it really matters. But I've got more down here, so if I want different lengths, I think there's probably more in those bags. So let's try to get them on there. Okay, well, that really is as easy as they say. I say that as I'm winded. But there's the new ones on. Full wheel parts. I'm gonna have to call him and fuss at him because he told me he would throw in the shock covers and did not. They're not in the box anywhere. And not that I have to have them, but it'd be good to have just for that little bit of extra weather seal. I could maybe even pull the old orange ones off that one, but they look pretty crappy. So we'll get them on the truck for now. I'm gonna put the weather seals on later. I'll just take the top bolt out and slide them back in. But those bushings, because they're different lengths, you can see up top, well, the top one didn't do it. The bottom one down here, see my bolt didn't quite want to go in all the way because the bushing was too long. But I think that's fine. The bolt is tight. so it'll be fine. But yeah, so you put, the instructions say, at least the other videos that I saw say, put in the top bolt first and then pull the shock down to put in the bottom bolt. That's what I did. It worked just fine. It's kind of funny to work with these shocks and have them be where they're so easy to push and pull them in, but then to think that they serve such a purpose as they do. But again, they're a shock, so what they resist is a quick impact. Nice, slow, steady impact they can move. I guess they must just have an orifice in there that's just kind of a real tight orifice that lets fluid move through, but not very quickly. If I had to guess. I don't really know how the innards are built, but that's my assumption. Anyway, these are on. Can jump around to the other side and hope that the bolts on the other side aren't quite as much of a pain in the butt as they were on this side, but I'm not going to show you guys that. Good enough. It's done. I highly recommend y'all do it. It's so easy, there's absolutely no reason why it should be neglected. Alright, well there's the other side. Nothing special to it. The top bolt was pretty tight. The bottom bolt had to be hammered out again. What I found, the trick, was just as soon as you can get that bottom bolt loose at all to where you've got some gap, start soaking it down with WD-40. That's all it is. It gets a little bit of sticky rust between the bolt and the bushing, and then since that bushing can't move, you can't seem to pull the bolt out. So you've got to just sit there and kind of work it back and forth and beat on it a little bit until you get that rust to pop loose, and then you can slide it right out. So anyway, there's my fancy new shocks without sleeves on them, but oh well, at least I got new shocks on the truck. Oh, before I forgot, 4-Wheel Parts did send me the boots. They were just in a different box. I didn't know. I didn't realize I had 2 boxes. So after I was done with all my shocks and everything and showing my wife, she's like, well, why didn't you put the boots on? They're in the house. Okay, so I do have them. So no more cussing 4-Wheel Parts. They sent me what I needed.